Look at everybody now. They doing I was doing a decade ago. They're rocking the clothes I was rocking a decade ago. They're making songs with blacks. I did that shit. I don't want to say
Mm.
I did it first.
But you pioneered it. Is
I
what
got
you're
a
saying.
song with Snoop Dogg. All my followers know about Grown and Sexy. I got a song with J Rock, G Malone. You know, I'm a writer that went big on the radio. You know what I'm saying? I was doing radio runs in Northern Cali. The
Ooh.
first Chicano rapper that was doing radio runs in Northern Cali and music videos.
Hold up. You were in Northern Cali, but you're still from a southern.
Yeah. I was
Oh
out there
shit.
networking
And
with
I only
home.
say that to say because there were times where high power would try to take the tour bus up there, but they could only go
Nah,
so far towards
nah. I went
Bakersfield.
into Oakland. Shout out to the homies in the 50s.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Southside locals in the 50s. They gave me hospitality. You know what I'm saying? They took pictures with me. Shout out to all the homies out there in the 50s. And they're surrounded by Norteños and Border Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So they got it on a daily. You know, shout out to the homies in Madera. I shot a video with the homies in Madera. Um, you know, Southside Madera, I believe. You know, I did a video with those homies. Then I did a video with the homies, the Playboys in San Jose. You know what I'm saying? Years ago.
what year was this? More or less.
Shit, like 2010, 2012.
All right, we won't keep it real. When you were up there, did you were you there comfortably or were you still kinda-
Comfortably.
Oh, so you weren't looking up. You weren't.
No, because I navigated properly. I knew how to move. I designated all my movements with caution. I called them, you know, I was going up the freeway, meeting all the Southsiders from every city up north off the freeway selling my merchandise. So
Is
whenever
this
I
money
went,
don't sleep at the timer or something?
this is with my CDs out the
Okay.
trunk.
Okay.
This wasn't Money Don't Sleep yet.
Oh, this was the CD era.
There's a CD era out the trunk. So I was out there selling CDs out the trunk. I did shows in Northern Cali. I didn't get to perform because there was drama with the Norteños and everything. But you know what I'm saying? And not to take away from them, they're not no chums. They with the business, you know.
So it's still respect with the Northerners.
Look, man, I ain't these cats. I've done prison time, you know, with them. I've been in riots, physical riots.
What
with
years
them.
were this?
Early 2000s.
And then?
And they're with the business. They pop off too. As a matter of fact, they set off the riot. You know, they had one building, and I was in their building.
What facility was this?
Soledad Central Yard.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Okay.
They had one building, and they knew we were about to get off on them. So they were luckily that they called out, you know, our building first, where we were outnumbered, and they jumped off immediately once we hit the yard. Because they knew if the other buildings got let out, it's over for them. They would be outnumbered like 10-1 because they only had one building.
Ah. Oh shit. So it's not like you have a certain type of animosity towards them guys.
Nah, they handled their business. Like they did what they were supposed to do. Like, you know, real motherfuckers that been around them respect them. You know, I'll be real. Their workouts were more intense than ours, and I was in the hole with them, so I would listen to their workouts because they would work out, and they have a little bit more intense workouts than us because they're less numbered, so therefore they have to be in a more physical, better shape.
So that's a real thing that they say they are more militant. You would say that's facts.
To an extent, but they're not more powerful. Hell nah. Southside Sureños.
Because of the numbers, I'm assuming.
Power numbers.
Right.
Power numbers. But, you know, they have to be like that because they're outnumbered. So they have to be in Captain America motherfucking physical shape.
Yeah.
Regardless, they get mopped up. But they hold it down. You know, they actually, I would say they won that riot that I got caught up in because they jumped off immediately and they outnumbered us. If they would have let another building come out, they would have lost.
Oh shit. Damn, so that's crazy. You were really around those times.
Yeah. Before I was around, before the dropouts, before the 2.5s, you know, that's when I was around. Like back then, I'm gonna keep it real. The dropouts had one tier that we were aware of, and that was Birch Hall and Chino. They had the third tier or some shit like that, one tier, and that's all they had. And now it's overwhelming to where they have multiple prison yards and
Mm,
everything. But I was doing time when it was a myth.
right.
Like you heard it, but nah, it can't be true. These dropouts, nah, they're rushing homies. Nah, it's not true. But
Mm,
they were rushing the homies.
mm. How do you feel about now? Like how big it's gotten?
It's crazy.
Mm.
That's all I could say. I can't even.
I want to go back to you pretty much like, like not talking bad on like Northerners because you got people out there who like never been nowhere and they'll smut them up.
They don't know shit,
Mm. Like how you feel about that?
man. We're all raza, you know. We just chose a different side, chose a different belief, but they got Azteca blood just like we do.
Mm.
So yeah, just because we outnumber them, they will seize the opportunity if given. They will
Mm.
move strategically with the warfare mentality
Mm.
if needed. You
And
know,
you
that's
said,
why all these fools that be dissing them and never been around them is crazy. Like it's crazy. Like how you gonna diss somebody? How you gonna disrespect them? You know, and it's crazy because they don't know shit, man. My brother just paroled. He did 7 years. He just paroled, and he was on the yard spreading with norteños, playing basketball with norteños. Don't get it wrong though. If it pop off, it pop off. But what I'm getting to is that if you don't know about it, don't speak about it. If you ain't never been around them, don't speak on them. Like straight up.